Hello, welcome to Yas Planter, and today what I want to show you is this beautiful baby right here. This is commonly known as the money plants, or the scientific name for these beautiful plants is Pachira Aquatica. So why this Aquatica, aqua, as you can see, like water, this Aquatica thing, from where it comes, because this beautiful plant is native to Central and South America, and they used to grow in swamps. So that's why these Aquatica names come from. Pachira is usually a beautiful plant, is definitely a fast growing plant with a very low maintenance and low care, very silent, very quiet, doesn't really like to move around or being relocated. So it's one of those nice ones for you to have at home. So this beautiful one right here, I got it around a year ago. It was just a little tiny one, maybe like this size, but over past few months it has some challenges, of course, in between, where I had it, the leaves all are falling off, they are not growing properly, and then now in past few months I had it rapid grow and it became to this stage. One of the nice and important thing about Pachira is basically the infrequent pruning. So Pachira is a plant that basically when you prune these leaves, for you to get to the shape that you want, it's definitely gonna be something nice for this beautiful plant, because it's regenerate rapider growth while you cut off these extra leaves or branch around. Another important thing about Pachira over the time, when you have it grown quite big, because usually when you're keeping them on your plant stand, or maybe in a corner of your room which is against the wall or something, you will see one side is grown and the other side is like kind of hollow. So for you to get that bushiness all over these beautiful plants is to keep them maybe somewhere around the center of your house, or maybe if it's within your plant stand or against the wall or somewhere, you can over the time just turn it around, so to get an even look all over these beautiful plants. Pachira, before for me I get started with the care and benefit of this beautiful plant, is a plant that does not love relocating. It's a plant that really hates relocating. So as soon as you get these beautiful plants from a nursery, when you're putting it into your house, give it maybe a couple of weeks time for the plant to understand the area, to understand the atmosphere and the ambience around. So usually you will find it is a bit sad maybe in the first couple of weeks, but when it gets used to the area, you will see immediately a rapid growth throughout this beautiful plant. Time to time moving it around in the house, or in case you are relocating your house, the plant doesn't like it usually, but if in case you want to really relocate this beautiful plant within your house, just give it the time for a couple of weeks for it to get used to it, because usually when you relocate it starts some brown leaves to come across, some fallen leaves. That doesn't mean that the plant doesn't has water, because usually what people commonly make mistake and keep on adding water to the soil and helping this beautiful plant to die fast as possible. But that's not the case, so be very careful when you see the plant is sad. Just think again, if you really relocate it, that's why it looks too sad. Definitely not a sign of the low watering. Coming to the care of this beautiful plant, usually does not need water, just like any other natural plant. Is one of the plants that maybe once every, like this one what I have, once every 15, once every 20 days, I give it just a little bit of water. Usually when you want to water this, the best time to water it for you to have the soil around 70 to 80% dried out. So the best way to measure that, again, to dip your finger in the soil and see if you felt any moisture. That means the plant doesn't need water. If you feel that is dried out on the soil at the bottom, then that's the time you will give some watering. When you're watering this beautiful plant, when you know that the soil is around 70 to 80% dried, make sure the water throughout the soil coming out from the bottom of the pot. because first of all you need to ensure that your pot has got a good drainage system. Not only your pot, as well as the soil has got a good drainage system, because sometimes when people tend to do, we're putting the soil in the pot and we keep on compressing it, but keeping the soil compressing, it usually doesn't allow the water to go through all the plant and get drained quite fast. So the water stays there and will help the roots to get rotten and again causing a damage to the plant. So let the water get through the pot and fall onto this saucer. As you can see, some water marks are here because that's the cause of that, because the extra water comes out, stay in the saucer, and that's what has created. But usually you have to throw the extra water out from the saucer to avoid having the roots to rot. Pachira is a plant that usually need quite indirect light, so always keeping in a corner of your house that there are some light throughout the day through the window. They're going to do pretty perfect with the indirect sunlight. Also, it's usually a plant that needs humidity, so keeping it into the colder corner of your house is not really advisable for this beautiful plant, as it again will look, you will see that the leaves are looking quite sad. Having said that, if you in case you want to repot this beautiful plant, usually the soil mix for sure should have the sweet sand and perlite in it, again for the good water drainage, because it will help the plant to avoid having the rotten roots. So usually I keep two part of the normal potting soil and one part of sweet sand and one part of perlite. So that definitely helps the plant to have a great drainage system. Also, when it comes to the fertilizer, usually you can fertilize these beautiful plants every month or every 2 months once. It's going to be more than enough. Be careful not to over fertilize the plant because they are very sensitive, and of course the too much fertilizer again going to have the plant die. One of the common problem that usually people face with this beautiful Pachira is the fallen leaf, or they get a brown or dried leaf. When the leaves are fallen, is usually a sign of not getting enough light in the house. So while it comes to the light, basically you might have enough light at your house, but still the plant is not doing good. Pay a close attention to these beautiful leaves. If they are not cleaned, if they are dirty and there's too much layer of dust, like the one I have right here, they won't be able to get enough light, of course. So it's good to have a look every maybe 2 weeks once, to have these beautiful leaves be cleaned out, just maybe with a damp cloth, to have these leaves cleaned out so they can get enough light. So some people, they tend to keep it into the brightest corner of their rooms, but still the plant is not doing good. That's usually common with all natural indoor plants, that we need to make sure that the leaves are clean. Of course, the sun, the light rays is going to go through the leaves only. That's where plants usually get the light from. So yeah, usually when it comes to the fallen leaves is the not getting enough light. When it comes to a brown leaves or a dried leaves, that means you have got too much water in this pot under here, which is usually you don't see it, and the roots are start rotten. So how to help with that? If you come across anything like this, usually the good thing that to do to immediately maybe remove the old soil and change it to a brand new dried soil, so a soil mix actually. So then the plant can breathe a little bit, and then you start having infrequent watering with it. The water is basically one of the most important elements for this beautiful plant. Has to be too less, not too much, for you to have the plants always fresh and happy all the time. Having this plant happy, it helps happiness to you as well. So it's very important for us to keep these beautiful plants not overwatered. One of the most beautiful thing about this beautiful plant that usually people they tend to give it as a gift to each other, and usually people, they like to buy it when it's too small, and you can witness the growth and the happiness of this plant throughout the time when you're taking care of it time to time. This beautiful white leaves is always, when you see they are a lighter green, means they are the fresh ones, they just come out. Yeah, and the one they are always brings the most happiness to the houses. Pachira is a plant, usually you can put it in your countertop, kitchen countertop. You can keep it in the corner of your bedroom, or also in the living room, and of course over the time they grow, and you can change the pot and have it maybe become a tree. Now it's just a little plant, but maybe in next couple of years you will have a beautiful Pachira tree in your house. That's all about this beautiful Pachira. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful time. See you again.